Hi everyone, my name's Danielle Phillips. For my service hours, I completed them at the Tree, which is a nonprofit that is owned by the Owl's Nest in Johnson City. I spoke with Jessica Moore. She has run the Tree for 5 years now. And for my service hours, I was able to work in the donation part, which is what the Tree is a donation center. We take in clothing and toys and shoes and pocketbooks and houseware, furniture, just all kinds of things. We serve a variety of people in the community. So for my interview questions, I already knew most of it because I've been a part of the Tree organization, the nonprofit, for 3 years now. My children actually come with me and they help sort toys and shoes and books. They also donate a bunch of their stuff as well as I do. So when I asked, the first question I asked was, why did she start the Tree organization? And she said that she noticed a lot of the customers were trashing the clothing that she didn't take for buy-ins because the Owl's Nest is a consignment store. So she said that most of them were just trashing the clothes, and that she knew that there was a need in our community for something to be open to offer homeless people and those in poverty and in need to have these items that they couldn't afford otherwise. So she said that she knew that in order to get help with clothing, people had to provide proof that they needed it. They also had to fill out a lot of paperwork, and they had to get on a waiting list. So I asked her, then I said, can you tell me about the work your nonprofit does and how it's run? And she said customers can donate any clothing or household items in return for a tax credit. Recipients only need to show their photo ID to come into the room and get all the clothing they could want. I asked her what made her program different from others. She said they're very strict about no questions asked, where you have to prove yourself to other agencies. With them, you don't have to prove anything. I asked her how many families she helped on a monthly basis. She serves approximately 150 to 185 families a month. And a reminder here, her nonprofit doesn't receive grants like a lot of these other places do. It's purely on donations and what money they've put into it. And so the next question I asked is if there was anything that those need to ask for that the Tree didn't have, or that they didn't have the means to help with. She said most often they requested items as backpacks, and that we hardly ever get them in, which is true, we never do. And other requested items are like socks and underwear. I asked her what her goals were for the next 3 to 5 years, and she said it was hard to say, really. They may be at the end of it for this right now, but they'll continue to help others in any means we can. It just got to a point where myself and my children were the only ones coming in to volunteer, which makes it really hard when you're getting donations dropped off every single day, Monday through Saturday, constantly, and you never know what you're going to get in. And it was just becoming overwhelming. And she's been doing it for 5 years, and her passion's there. I see it every day I come in, along with mine. And my children have passion for it as well. So to see her talking about, and hearing about her talking that it's going to close, it's really heartbreaking, actually. So in the interview, we talked about other ways that maybe we could still take in donations and just wouldn't have a mess, pretty much. And people could come in Monday through Friday from 10 to 5 to get whatever they needed. Like she said earlier in the interview, you just had to have proof of ID. So now that they're not doing that anymore, you can't come into the back room anymore. She found another way to help families. There's a man that comes in who works for as a social worker, I guess, and he helps people in 16 counties So he comes in every Friday now and picks up donated items and takes them where they need to go to help families in need. And whatever he doesn't need or they don't take, he sends overseas for families over there and for people to make clothing and household items and stuff with, which is great. And the tree still takes in donated items all the time still. We just don't let anybody back there to mess with it and stuff. It's usually just me. I still go in and help sort and make sure everything's nice and neat and nothing's a mess. My kids still take stuff to donate. I still take stuff to donate. So it's still a non-profit, very much so. We just work in a different way than we did before. When I continued the interview, after talking with her, and of course talking with her I wasn't nervous. There was nothing to be nervous about. I've known her for almost 3.5 years now. She treats my kids like her own. She helps my kids, helps me as well. I asked her, I said, before she was in talks about closing it and not letting anybody come in, I asked her, I said, in what ways do you bring volunteers in? Is it the same volunteers all the time? Does different volunteers come in? And she said they get volunteers a lot from the area high schools and colleges to count toward their community service hours. Also, they had a ladies' church groups that come in sometimes, and then you have your regulars, which is me, and a couple of other people. I asked her, I said, have you thought about involving other agencies and doing a community event? She said, yeah, we've done both. We include other area agencies by giving them what they need, helping their recipients, or by helping them with their extra clothes or stuff that they can't take. I said, what's the program's strengths? What do you consider to be the weaknesses of the program? She said, our strength is definitely the amount of people we're able to help. She said our weakness would consist of organization deficiencies and volunteer needs. Like I said before, they don't receive funding at all. They don't have grants. So it's hard, and volunteers don't come in as often anymore as they used to. And the only time you have high schoolers or college students come in to volunteer is during the school year. So during the summer, it gets backed up, and it's hard for one person to manage and take care of all of that. I know from experience because I've done it before. I've been the only one there and coming in and working from the time the store opens to the time the store closes. And I don't get paid or any of that, so that's taking time. But I love giving back. I love being able to help because I've been in that situation before. I still get in that situation sometimes. So it's hard to see other people like that. And when you work with people that are dealing with poverty and homelessness, it's a lot seeing them and how they act and what their needs might be, because I've been there before. I said, what do you want the public to know about your program? She said, again, it's hard to say because this may be the end of it for us, but now that I've been working with her, I was just there the other day, she said that that guy comes in once every Friday and picks up items and takes them to 16 counties that he serves, and they get the donated items that they need. We still continue to get stuff coming in all the time, and it's anywhere from shoes and purses, like I said before, to houseware items, to furniture. There's a lot of clothes and toys. We have maternity clothes and baby stuff, newborns, and girls and boys, from newborn to women and men's clothing, a lot of shoes, and it's great being able to see how we help. Like, I can work and go in there and clean the donation room and pick up trash and sort clothes and put up books and shoes and toys, and I can do it for hours and hours on end, and I enjoy doing it. I really enjoy doing it. It's hard to describe how or why, I guess, that I keep doing it and love doing it, but I do. So seeing it close, or like not the way it was before, it's hard. It's heartbreaking, because I'm used to being in there and helping families and giving, taking stuff to little kids that they need help with. I've recently started being able to help my neighbor, who's a single mom to 3, and her little one's getting ready to start school. Her oldest is getting ready to start school, and she's in need of school clothes. So I go and, I asked her, okay, give me the sizes your kids wear, and I'll go and see what I can find. So I've been helping her past couple of weeks. I actually found her a double stroller that somebody had donated, and of course it was in the best condition ever. It definitely needed a good cleaning, and I surprised her with it, and she cried. And I knew at that moment, especially, that the little difference that I was making was worth it. That I was helping this family, and that was what God called me to do. So it's incredible being able to see it firsthand. We always have this idea of what we think homeless people are, or how they act, or families that are in poverty. We always have this mindset of, oh, well, we don't need to be around them, or we don't need to help them, they can't help themselves. And it's not like that at all, especially when little ones are involved. And you've got these little kids that come in, they don't have shoes. Or, mama can't make ends meet. And so, little one might not have any formula. And formula is expensive. It's like $15, $16 a can. It was like that when my kids were born. It's still like that now. And, our donation center gets formula and bottles and diapers and baby clothing, and so it's a real blessing to a lot of people. But this interview really helped me gain a better insight and understanding of how important it is to help those in need, because you never know when you yourself will be in that situation. Thank you.